Is Fortnite the greatest game ever made? I'm gonna answer that, but before I do, let's take a trip down memory lane. Just really quickly. Is Fortnite the greatest game ever made? Maybe. I'm going to present some facts and some opinions, and I'm going to try my best to convince you that Fortnite is probably the greatest game ever made. My first point is, it is probably the most innovative game I've ever played. Now, I think we can all agree that this is mainly because of the building. There's so much more to it than just the building. I know Fortnite, like the developers at Epic originally wanted people to use it as a sort of cover mechanic and just to build forts. It's why the game's called Fortnite, which is something I found out recently, actually. But people have taken it to the extreme, and I mean extreme. Like things I didn't even know ever, like things I never thought would even be in a game ever. Levels of the skill is incredible, the amount that it takes for this. So this makes it harder to improve, honestly, because the skill gap is so high. And it's probably the only game that can justify having a skill-based matchmaking system. It's the only game I can accept. In terms of improving, it's become a lot more difficult. Like, Ninja was probably the best in like Season 3 to 4 and probably 5, I'm not really sure. But now he kind of sucks.
Fuck you say to me, you little shit!
I said you fucking suck. Anyway, on to my next point. This one's probably a bit subjective, but I think we can all agree that it's the most vibrant, and it probably has the best map in the Battle Royale area, I think, personally. Now, comparing to other Battle Royale games, Fortnite just looks so much better. And when I say looks better, I just mean it's more appealing to look at, as in, obviously it's not realistic. That's not what makes Fortnite. It's the bright colors, it's the vibrance, it's like someone took the saturation and blasted it on max. That's how good this game looks. And it has sort of a comic aesthetic to it. Obviously it doesn't look realistic. I don't think that's why people play it. I think they play it because obviously it's fun and because of the building. That's mainly what separates it from every other Battle Royale game. Don't at me, that is why everyone else play. That is why people play Fortnite, because it's nothing like any other Battle Royale game. The map itself is so much better than any other Battle Royale map, and I'll give you reasons for why. It's condensed and small. It's not like the size of a million football fields, like Warzone, Blackout. Oh, even PUBG. I'm not gonna cough at PUBG because PUBG is fine. But yeah, those maps are too fucking big and they don't belong. They're just way too big and they don't work for me at all. I definitely think that it has the best landing spots. It's got the best locations, like in terms of creativity. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about that. Moving on. My next point is the cosmetics in Fortnite alone are unbelievable. The creativity that Epic puts into making their skins, pickaxes, camos, contrails, gliders, whatever, like their creativity levels are through the roof. Rarely will we get like a crappy skin that's like, oh man, that's pretty bad. But let's be honest here. I think we can all agree, and if you don't agree, then you're just very closed-minded. But Fortnite has the best skins out of any Battle Royale game, and probably any other game in general. Think about it for a second. You can play as Star-Lord, Black Widow, Harley Quinn, Batman, Cable, Deadpool. I mean, I'm just gonna stop there because that's all I need to know in order to convince me that it has the best cosmetics. The pickaxes are some of them are so beautiful. Some of them have different animations. I mean, you could play as freaking Rey, Finn, Kylo Ren. Like, if that's not enough to convince you that Fortnite has the best cosmetics, then I don't know what will. The live events. We just had a live event that was one of the best, if not the best, we've seen in this game so far. The Travis Scott concert was unbelievable. My jaw was dropped maybe like 50% of the time. I had so much fun in it, and if you're telling me that you didn't like it at all, I didn't really like Travis Scott much, and I know some of my friends don't even like it that much, but I can tell you they loved the event so much. And that's just the Travis Scott event. That's not including every other event. When Kevin was born, when Loot Lake turned into Thanos Lake or whatever it was called, that was amazing. And other events such as the endgame game mode. I'm already destroying every other game with that point. The endgame game mode. Now that is epic. I love you for that. They've included the lightsabers in Fortnite. I will admit they were a bit OP, but you know, you had to have some skill to use it. And not to even mention when Infinity War was about to be released. Well, I think it was after it was released actually. You got the Thanos game mode. I forget what it was called. I think it was just called Infinity War actually. Where you can play as fucking Thanos. Like, are you kidding me? What other game is there where you can play as Thanos, collect Infinity Stones? You play as Thanos. Like, that alone should convince you that it has probably the best game modes. And just the best innovations. Like, come on, bro. Just agree with me. My next point is creative. Now, creative is a big one. You don't feel like playing solos? Play in duos. You don't feel like playing duos? Play squads. You don't feel like playing squads? Play literally anything else because there's everything creative. You want to play Mario Party? Play Party Mania. You want to play Mario Kart? Play that kart game mode. You want to play Rust? Just find a code for Rust and you can play Rust 1v1 snipes. You want to play Nuketown? Just find a Nuketown map. You want to play Derice from Black Ops 1 with the remaster map, or Black Ops 3, the Giant, or the original Derice from World at War? I mean, come on, that alone has to convince you that it has so many options. The options in Fortnite, man. I wouldn't be surprised if they made another game in creative. You want to play a game mode where you just versus your friends? Play Zone Wars. You want to practice your builds? Play 1v1s. You want to practice editing? You want to practice your aim? Just find a map that has that to help you. Just find a map that has those courses. Like, I mean, there's no reason for you not to be improving. You should be improving by playing the game every single day. Right, so I've definitely missed a few points, but just from that alone, it is a top tier game, ladies and gentlemen. And now I'm not about to start listing some negative things about the game because every game has a negative about it. But with all of everything I just said, I'm going to give this game a 9 out of 10 compared to every other game that there is. It is fun, it is innovative, it has 3 separate game modes, and it has a million more in creative. So, back to the question. Is Fortnite the greatest game ever made? No, obviously not. You would need some hard evidence for it to be the best game of all time. And there isn't enough for Fortnite. That's not to say that it's not a great game. The game is great. It is a 9 out of 10. To some people, the game is the greatest of all time. But that doesn't mean objectively it is. Just because I think it's, personally, I think it's one of the greatest games ever made. I know some people just continuously keep raging at it, but that's not... I'm not saying I don't. I rage at this fucking game all the time. I fucking feel like rage quitting as soon as I load in. But so what? The way you get over that is you improve. The best way to improve is by playing the game. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, or if you agreed with me on one of these points, please like, subscribe. Peace. Good night.
Oh, she's sweet but a psycho, a little bit psycho. At night she's screaming, I'm on my mind. Oh, she's hot but a psycho, so left but she's right though. At night she's screaming, I'm on my mind.